Hello, everyone. This is Mystic Goddess with your general reading. So, today we're going to see what the person who is thinking about you does not want you to know currently. This reading is for everyone of every zodiac sign, so feel free to switch the energies around as needed. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these messages. Give me messages, please, Holy Spirit, for everyone that watches this reading. When it comes to the person who is thinking of my viewers, what does that person not want my viewers to know currently when it comes to love? What does that person not want my viewers to know currently when it comes to love? Two more shuffles. All right. So let's see what comes out here. All right. So at the bottom of the deck, you have the Three of Swords. Someone does not want you to know that they are hurt. All right. They're still in love with you. This is giving energy of this person being upset. There's a part of them that's wondering if you still have love for them. They miss your devotion. This is someone who didn't have to second guess how much you love them or how much you meant to them, because I feel like you expressed it, but you also would show them. You showed them through action. They actually want to come in fighting for this, but they think that you have accepted the breakup or the disconnect for what it is, and you've decided to move on with your life, and they cannot take it. They're upset because you've changed, and you've changed in a major way. With the Five of Wands being here, they're admitting that they did some things out of ego. For some of you, they may have even moved on out of ego, even though they actually wanted to make things work. So, yeah, they may even think that you're upset with them, like you're pissed off about something that they did to hurt you. So if there's been a separation, if there's been a breakup, this person is heartbroken and full of grief. Wow. At the top of the deck, you have the Three of Wands in reverse. So some of you have restricted access, or you've been delaying when it comes to reaching out to them. Also, this person is a bit frustrated, okay? They're frustrated because you set boundaries, but they're also frustrated because you're not coming in being emotional. This is someone who's used to you coming toward them motivated by your feelings, but many of you are not being expressive anymore. So they think that you're upset with them, like they did something that was the final straw, and you finally thrown in the towel. Give me another card. Yeah, this is someone who's used to you coming in, fixing things. I feel like you negotiated a lot. Some of you may even feel like you held up your life for this person, all for nothing. What is being hidden, or what does this person not want my viewers to know? Also, if they have been dating, no one has been meeting their expectations, and it's because they're comparing everyone to you. You set the standards really high. Okay, you may have loved this person in a way that they were not used to. You have the Nine of Cups here, and it came out crossing. Ooh, this person is unhappy. They don't want you to know that they're unhappy. I feel like they've done a lot of things out of arrogance or out of pride, but deep down, they feel unfulfilled on an emotional level. This is someone who's really disappointed. They're disappointed by the way that things ended, even though they may be the one that caused the disconnect between the two of you. Also, with the Nine of Cups coming out crossing, it lets me know that this person made you feel like you were not enough. So no matter how much you did to try and please them, to try and satisfy them, it's like this person just refused to be happy. So yeah, they think that you are permanently closing out a cycle. With the Nine of Wands being here, they feel like you're tired of them. And some of you truly are. I feel like you persevered. You really did everything that you could to make the relationship work. You were persistent. But there's something that they did that was the final straw. With the Seven of Swords being here along with the Ace of Swords in reverse, some of you definitely caught this person in a lie. Also, there's something reckless that they said to you. It's coming out like it was during an argument, and now they're regretting that. With the Seven of Swords being here along with the Ace of Swords, that is 8 swords. So they're in their head, overthinking and overanalyzing everything. It's also giving energy of them being in regret because they said something that they cannot take back. But whatever they said, it was destructive. They're saying they didn't mean it with the Seven of Swords being here. They're making it seem as though they said it out of hostility or they said it during an argument, but whatever they said, I feel like it hit below the belt. For a small portion of you, this person is admitting that they've either been avoiding you or there's something that they've been avoiding saying. This is someone who tried to make it seem as though they were unaffected or like they were not hurt by the breakup or the disconnect, but it's been killing them. It's gotten to the point where they're tired of pretending. So they could come in speaking their truth, but they're worried about making a bad situation worse. Also, there's something about miscommunication here, all right? I feel like this person may say things and then they make it seem like that's not what they really meant or like you misunderstood them. It's giving that type of energy. But there's something that they said without thinking and now they regret it. And I mean, they think about it a lot. Yeah, them avoiding you, that was a part of them putting on a show. And for a small portion of you, they may not completely they may not completely give you honesty regarding why they truly have been avoiding you. There's something else to it. For some of you, they would even avoid you to cause confusion, especially when they were mad at you or whenever you would say certain things that they didn't like. This is so weird. You have the Two of Pentacles here. So I feel like this person has a lot on their plate. And with the Empress card being here, they wish they would have been more resourceful when it comes to you. And what I mean by that is you have a lot to offer. Whether you're a male or a female, people like you do not come a dime a dozen. You are a once in a lifetime type of love. And I feel like they didn't handle you with tender love and care. Give me another card. What does this person not want my viewers to know when it comes to love? I feel like this person has so much going through their mind at the moment. It's like their thoughts are racing. They're a bit all over the place and scattered. But the main thing is they're hurt. And that's what they don't want you to know. All right, you have the Hermit card. Those of you who have taken a step back, it's affected them on a deep level. Also, whenever you pull back, it makes them jealous. Now, for some of you, this person, they could have been withdrawn from you, or they may be in solitude, but it's not for the reason that you think. For some of you, this person tends to withdraw, or they tend to become distant just to get a jealous rise out of you. This is going to be very specific. Please don't force it to fit. If this person is a bit of a loner, they're really uncomfortable when it comes to that. Okay, this is giving outcast type of energy. They make it seem as though they don't need anyone, or like it's them against the world, but they're actually really bothered by it. This is someone who has always felt alienated, maybe even in childhood. They're admitting that they've been using some type of substance or some really unhealthy coping mechanisms in order to numb themselves when it comes to the disconnect between the two of you. It's also giving energy of this person feeling a bit powerless to fix things. They have been doing some self reflecting, but there are also illusions when it comes to that. This is someone who doesn't want to take full accountability for the role that they played and you pulling away from them. It's almost like they're trying to convince themselves that you pulled away because that's what everyone tends to do. Like you're just like everyone else, even though they know that you're not, because the Empress card is here. So they're kind of going back and forth in their mind. There are some days when this person deeply feels the separation between the two of you and they're overtaken by sadness and grief. But there are other days when they become angry, and they actually blame you for where the connection is between the two of you currently. They blame you by making it seem as though you're the one that pulled away from them, or you're the one that gave up on the connection, even though it was because of their actions. So it's all illusions, all illusions. And I feel like it's their way of distracting themselves from obsessing over what they did to cause the disconnect or the breakup between the two of you. So it's like they're gaslighting themselves. It's not funny. I don't know why I laughed. For some of you, they're drinking way too much, or they're using some type of substance way too much. And I mean pissy drunk or out of this world type of high. That's what it's giving. But they're using it as a coping mechanism. And I also feel like they use distance as a defense mechanism, okay? They're not good with confronting certain issues, especially when it has to do with them. Now, they may be quick to call you up on your crap, but when it comes to them accepting accountability, they feel attacked. Yeah, they feel attacked. Give me another card. All right, you have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups can be a card of idealism. So overall, they view you as the perfect lover. There's this innocence about you that they really do love. Yeah, now I'm not saying you don't do anything wrong, but I feel like you always try to see the good in this person. It's kind of giving Beauty and the Beast type of energy where they're not used to anyone seeing past the illusion or the facade. They're in some really sensitive energy right now emotionally, so they're feeling vulnerable. They're also admitting that you spoke to their inner child. This is someone who has some really deep rooted issues. With the Four of Pentacles being here, they're admitting that they're possessive over you, okay? But they also have a lot of insecurities. And so, in order to mask those insecurities, they come off like they don't care. They don't care about anyone, they don't care about anything. Oh, well, it is what it is giving that type of energy. Also, they're holding back when it comes to how they feel about you being in indifferent energy. They think you don't care about them anymore. Like you don't care how it turns out. This is also someone who has a hard time opening up because they're discontent with themselves as a person. So I feel like they have this guard up or they keep their walls up. Almost as a way for you, how can I put this? They're discontent with who they truly are as a person. They could even be discontent with how their life has turned out. So they keep a wall up to try and mask their insecurities. At the top of the deck, you have the Seven of Pentacles. So they're admitting that no one else poured into them the way that you have. I feel like many of you truly thought that this person would make some progress. And for some of you, they have made a bit of progress, but they're still behind. They think you're stronger than them. And see, the crazy thing is, I feel like because of that innocence that you have, this person may have mistaken that for weakness. Or they thought that you would be easy to get over on, easy to manipulate, easy to control. But they're admitting that you being distant is their weakness. That's their weak spot. That is their biggest trigger, believe it or not. When you withdraw, when you pull away, it consumes them. You start to consume them. That is their biggest weakness. You pulling away. You being in solitude. Wow. That is their biggest trigger. It makes them feel powerless. Because even if you were to respond to them, if you were to contact them and read them their rights, cuss them out, call them names, whatever, at least you're responding. At least you're there. At least they have access to you in that moment. But when you pull away, they feel powerless. And they're actually dependent upon your light and you giving them validation. So when you withdraw that energy, they feel oppressed. They're actually addicted to your light, but they thrive in darkness. And that is, oof, that's really sad. It's kind of scary too. You shined a light on their shadow. Like, you truly irritated this person's demons. But see, I feel like they took it as an attack instead of viewing it as constructive criticism and something that they could work on. Give me one more card. All right, you have the Three of Pentacles and it came out crossing. So they're admitting that they didn't play their part. All right, that's all it is to it. I feel like this person let their ego get in the way. They let unnecessary conflict get in the way. And I also feel like they just expected you to be there. So they got too comfortable and they didn't feel motivated to make things work. I feel like this person let you carry the relationship. And they're also admitting that there are times that they intentionally cause conflict with you. This, I don't want to say they're not a people person, but they could be the type that may be a bit hard to understand, okay? Or they may not always get along with people. Now, this message is extremely specific, so please don't force it to fit. But I just feel like they tend to fall out with people a lot. Or there's just energy of people not understanding them. For some of you, they felt like they didn't have what it takes to be with someone like you. It's almost like they're wondering how they even got someone like you in the first place. With the Seven of Cups being at the bottom of the deck, this person is admitting that they went down a dead end road. They were either entertaining other options, or this is someone who tried to replace you in some way, and it ended up being a dead end. Also, I feel like they use sex as a release. Okay. They may express themselves better sexually than verbally. If it's not that, I just feel like this person, they may feel like they'll never be the same again. Okay. After the connection that they shared with you, because there's something about you. There's something about you that sparked something within this person, okay? Like you sparked that enthusiasm. You made them feel alive again. You made them feel passion like they've never felt before. Also, they're not used to anyone investing in them the way that you did. Like you saw the potential within this person. And you may have even inspired them to meet their own potential or their best potential. But if you did pull away, or even if they moved on from you, it's like that spark is gone now and they're left in darkness. This is a really sad reading. This is a sad reading, but they did it to themselves and they don't want you to know how heartbroken they truly are. This is someone who's upset. You are a major loss. I don't care how it looks. I don't care what they say. I don't care. I don't care. This is someone who has either cried real tears over you, or this is someone who is grieving you badly. But for most of you, they've shed some tears. Okay. For some of you, it was the ugly cry. For others of you, it was just a few tears, but they've been in sorrow. Like they're deeply affected by the separation between the two of you. And it's because your love is so genuine. They're used to people loving them with strings attached, or they're used to people they're used to people enabling them. All right. But I feel like you may have believed in this person more than they believed in themselves. That's what this is giving. This is someone who feels like a failure. They put major restrictions on their life. It's almost like they have the mentality of, well, this is just how I am. This is just how it is. And they stick with it. So they're really frustrated. And I feel like they're frustrated with themselves because you make it look so easy. You grew while you were with this person. Now, I'm not saying you grew quickly. For some of you, it took some time, but you're not the same that you were when you met them. And I'm not talking just financially or anything like that. I'm talking on a soul level. You are not the same person that they met, and they can see it as well as feel it. You were able to shine a light on certain aspects that they had been hiding for years. Okay. And I feel like you triggered them because it's almost like you embody everything that they lack. So you hold a mirror to this person. Okay. You hold a mirror to them to show them the work that they need to do, but they see it as an attack. And I don't think many of you even knew what you were doing. You had trauma too. Many of you still have a lot of trauma, but you worked through it. And I feel like this person may have trauma that's so deep or so painful, um, to the point where they want to just forget about it and move on. And everyone has different ways of handling their trauma, okay? But see, the audacity is they don't want to work on their trauma, but at the same time, they operate out of their trauma. So it affects the people around them. And see, that's not fair. That is not fair at all. If you're going to project the trauma onto others, then you need to take the initiative to work on the trauma. This is someone who's in the energy of, this is just how I am. I've always been like this. Take it or leave it. And many of you decided to leave it. So, yeah, I feel like you sparked something within this person. You may not even be aware of the major effect that you had on their life. And they're not going to be able to let that go. It's going to sit with them for the rest of their life. And see, what really hurts the most is they know that they lost you because of their own doing. All right. They lost you because they didn't want to put in the effort. They lost you because they expected you to make all of the changes and for you to make all of the sacrifices without them doing anything. And I feel like many of you were doing that initially. Like you sacrificed a lot, your morals. You may have sacrificed your ethics, your integrity, your peace, your mental health. They put you in a very compromising, well, you know what? We got to take accountability. Okay. We're the Mystic family and we take accountability. Many of you put yourself in a very compromising situation, but I feel like over time, you received a wake up call. Yeah. For some of you, this person is admitting that I don't know why they would lie as a strategy. There's something here about them trying to confuse you through communication or through posts online. It's either verbal communication, text messages, or like something online. Like they're trying to confuse you. They're also admitting that they would get hostile whenever you caught them up in lies. Like they would go off, they would get angry. And I feel like one of the main reasons they would get so angry is because you were hard to confuse. Yeah. Like their schemes didn't work, their trickery didn't work, the lies didn't work. You just always knew when they were up to something and they couldn't stand it. So they're admitting a lot here. Okay. But with the Three of Swords being the first card to come out of the deck, that speaks volumes. It really does. I feel like this person needs to learn some healthier coping mechanisms because they use distance as a way to cope. They're a runner. And they also need to work on their traumas. But I'm telling you, their weakness is distance. That is their weakness. That's their trigger. And of course, I'm not telling any of you that for you to use it. Okay? But seriously, they cannot stand when you distance yourself. And even though it seems like they don't care, it actually drives them crazy. But they do it when they're to themselves. They cannot stand feeling as though they've lost control or feeling powerless. But they're admitting that they grew a very unhealthy obsession with you. And there have been times that they contemplated some dark things. Okay. Now, that message is also specific. Please don't force it to fit. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. But this is someone who has some issues. And I would not encourage any of you to go tit for tat with this person. They're in a dark place as of now, but they're really good at playing it off. This is someone who's unhappy. Very, very much unhappy with life. You couldn't make them happy even if you wanted to. And it's not fair for you to have to do that, for them to give you the responsibility of that. They need to do some soul searching. But yeah, when they lost you, they feel like they lost everything. And that's what hurts the most, that you are, still doing your own thing. And all they had to do was transform. And they could have relished in their blessing, the blessing being you. You inspired them to change, but they're just lazy. All right. And so that is the reading, everyone. If you guys resonated with this or if you liked this reading, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you as a part of the Mystic family. I love each and every one of you guys so much. You take care. Be safe. Until next time. Bye.